This video is not suitable for audiences under 13 years of age.
Kill. Double kill. Triple kill. Titan Slayer. Godlike.
Hello everyone, Mixfant Gaming here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're taking a look at some more test server action. This weekend's test server, we're going to be testing the nerf, the so-called nerf to the Storm, as well as we're going to look again at some drones. So, take a quick look at my hangar here. I've pretty much equipped just about everything with Storms, as well as I have 2 Ravanas and 2 Leeches. And the reason I have that is the Ravanas have had a change so that they can no longer capture beacons inside using their Transcendence mode. As well, you cannot capture beacons while in phase shift. So I have phase shift on both Leeches and both Ravanas, and of course the Ravanas have their Transcendence ability. So we're going to hopefully run in some beacon rush games or domination, and we'll see how that goes. I also have the Ausion in here. I believe there has been recently a rework or a rebalance a little bit done to the Redeemers, so I threw that on here. But mainly because I want to try to counter any Lokis and stuff running around. Unfortunately, the Yang Li pilot is not on the test server, so I equipped Quantum Radar on the Leech. I'm not Leech, on the Ausion itself. But, that being said, let's take a quick look here at the drones. And I really didn't do much. I just added one single drone. If you look up here, come on, I put in the Wasp. Now, the reason I'm even looking at the drones, I didn't want to set up, 7 different drones here. I just set up one drone, and I have an attack module on here, or attack microchip, which is basically the target-seeking cannon shooter, which has a range, I believe, of 500 meters, and it has a 5-second reload, so it will continuously shoot other enemy bots. But what I want to look at here is the combined microchip feature, because they have now enabled that. So I went through for this one specific microchip. I can't remember what ones these are. These triangle ones here. The one right below the attack one. I went and bought a whole bunch of those because I wanted to see what I have to do to actually combine microchips. So if I click combine microchips, you'll see we have a new interface here. Once it loads up. So here's this massive screen to install. So I can do tier 1, I can do tier 2 to tier 3, and I can do tier 3 to tier 4. So tier 1, I don't even know if I have any tier 1 microchips, to be perfectly honest. So let's see, I haven't gone through this, so just bear with me. So what if I go autofill? Okay, autofill doesn't do anything. So I might not have any tier 1 microchips. So let's go to tier 2. Okay, so I didn't. So if I go to tier 1, you'll see it says on the right hand side there are no chips of this type in your inventory. But if we go to the tier 2, I have a number of tier 2 microchips. So if I click autofill, so it fills a whole bunch of them. So I guess they don't have to necessarily be the same type, I'm guessing. So I have a 10% increase, 5%, 5%, 5%. If I click on the information, so that's an overclocked intensifier. This was unimpeded implementer, inciting intensifier, resurgent intensifier, and these ones did these ones not get filled in? Because these ones up here are highlighted. So I'm just going to start unequipping these manually on the left hand side and see where they stop getting highlighted. So remove that one. Oh, so yeah, so you'll see I have 1 of 1 used. If you look at on the right hand side underneath the actual microchip icon, it says I have 1 of 1 used. I have 4 of 5 used on that one. I have 3 of 3 used on that one, and 1 of 3 used on this one. So at least it doesn't seem like you have to have the exact same kind of microchip. All these ones do different things. So I was worried going in here that in order to combine microchips, they needed to be the exact same item. So I would have to fill this up, for instance, with all unimpeded intensifiers to level up, which it doesn't seem to be the case. I just have to have a certain number of T2 microchips. So autofill this back in. And yeah, see that one that was said, oops, that one before that said I had 405, and now use the 5th one. So it's just basically going in order here from top to bottom. Just basically manually, I mean not manually, automatically filling this in. Okay, so now I can go combine. And I can get one of the tier 3 ones. And it's cost me 200 gold. And this is on the test server. And we all know on the live server we're starving for gold. I mean literally starving. There's so much stuff now in the game that requires gold, and yet they're introducing more stuff, not only to buy the higher end drones, but to buy the actual microchips in the offers. Now to actually combine the microchips, you need gold. It's insane. Anyway, so I'm going to hit the combine and see what happens. So new microchip created. So I have a crate, I guess, of some sort. I click OK. Well, all right, so I got a crate, but what was the microchip that I got? So how do I know the microchip that I just got? So if I go back, is there any place that says, like, I got that crate thing, but what was it? What did I get? There's nothing. That little crate in the bottom left hand is just my private crate. This is just the supply drops. Okay, so Pixonic, like, if you're going to combine microchips, at least tell us what we got. Like, did you just like add it to my inventory and I have absolutely no idea what it was? You got to give us a little bit more details when we combine, because I don't think you get to choose what your microchip is that you're making. I think just like when you're putting in the pilot skills initially, when you have a blank slot, it's just completely random. I think when you combine the microchips, again, you're just getting something completely random. All right, so let's go back into here, into the WASP. Let's go back into the microchip. So I have no idea what got created. So let's try to combine again. We're going to combine the tier 3s and make a tier 4. So I have one thermic intensifier already. Okay, so I only have one thermic intensifier. So let's see when I combine the tier 3s, what happens if I get, A, if it even gives me the upgraded microchip, and B, what it is. Okay, so I'm going to combine microchips. And when we get in here, I'm going to go to tier 3. And I'm going to autofill. So again, it doesn't have to be the exact same items for the microchips. They just have to be tier 3. And so I hit, so the question mark means it's just, it's going to give me random. And see, look, to combine 5 tier 3 microchips into one single tier 4, it's 500 gold to do the combination, and it's going to be completely random what you get. So if Pixonic's saying this is affordable, they're absolutely out in left field here. I don't even know what the heck they're thinking. But it's costing 500 gold to get something completely random. I don't even get to choose what microchip I want to create. So imagine somebody coming in and they're trying to get a certain microchip, and they either purchase or they've combined, they've ground up enough tier 3 microchips to create a tier 4, and it's going to be completely random. They don't even get to choose. This is absolutely stupid. So anyways, I'm going to come in here. Let's hit combine. So again, it says new microchip created, and we're just going to go here and click OK. So again, it doesn't tell me what I got, but if I go back here, so remember, I only had that one. I had a thermic intensifier, and so they just gave me an unassailable intensifier. So at least I got the microchip, but they don't actually tell you until after the fact. You have to go back into the inventory to see what you even got. So this one, as long as last stand is active, it increases the robot's damage output. Okay, so sure, why not? I'll install it on this thing. And I have another microchip that already created the thermic intensifier. So characteristics, 50% additional damage. As long as the robot is immune to freeze, increases its damage output. Okay, sure, why not? I'll install it. Alright, so that is the combined microchip interface. The interface itself seems relatively straightforward. I really hate the fact that it's all random once you do a combination. And if you think you're going to be able to afford this stuff going forward, you're absolutely insane. I don't even know what Pixonic is thinking. They're literally pricing 90% of the players out of this entire game. I've recently heard a number of players saying once drones drop, they're just going to quit the game. And honestly, I can't blame them. I don't even know if I want to play anymore once these drones drop. It's getting complicated, and the fact that Pixonic is saying it's going to be affordable, they're lying to us. At least from what I see here on the test server, the amount of grinding you have to do to get these microchips, and I say grinding, I have no idea how else you're supposed to get these microchips other than just buy them from the offers. Are you going to be able to get them through normal gameplay? I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any games on the test server that I've played where I've actually been awarded microchips at the end of a match. Are they just going to be in supply drops? Like, how are you going to obtain these? And then once you do obtain them and you decide you want to try to combine them, now you have to play gold. And it looks like it's a decent amount of gold. I know we can't always believe the values on the test server, but a lot of times the test server is much lower than it is when it comes to a live server. And the fact that they're putting 200 and 500 gold on this for the test server actually scares me a bit. Because most of the other stuff on here, when you're trying to set up that involves gold, you're only paying 1, 2, 3 gold a piece. Like to randomly choose a skill with on a maxed out pilot is 7 gold. Whereas on the test server, on the live server, I think it's like 500 gold or something to do a random spin. Something absolutely insane. Anyways, so with that being said, let's just go back here and let's hop into a game and see what we can pull up. So since I have a whole bunch of storms on here, I'm going to pause it out here and I'm going to come back when I find a Beacon Rush game that's on a relatively close range map. Last thing I want to do is try to test storms on something like Yamantau. So anyways, I'm going to pause it out here and we're going to search for a match and hopefully we'll find something that I can actually make proper use of the storms. And, well, we dropped in on Power Plant, and I think I can make this work. Alright, so let's start with one of the Ravanas. And, yeah, let's get rid of the Wasp drone to start with. Okay, so let's go up here. See what we can do. I'll use my Transcendence ability just to get to a beacon. Now, I was going to test the phase shift stuff, but I already had somebody on the beacon, so it wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever. So, I'm going to go over here to this beacon here. So, I'm on the beacon here. If I do this, and see, I stopped capturing the beacon. Okay. So, it does work with the Transcendence mode. Alright, so let's go over here a bit. There is... Come on, out of my way. You're getting me killed, buddy. Get out of my way. So, use my ability. Phase shift. He's got atomizer, so it's pretty much the perfect counter for me. Alright, so we are capturing the beacon. I don't want to use my mode, because if I did, then I will no longer capture it. And I don't know what this guy is in here behind. So go on around. Is he going to engage? It's another Ravana. Wow. Why are my storms... Oh, I was only, for some reason, shooting with one storm. That's why. I was like, why is the damage not taking him down? Why are you not using your ability? Okay. Sure, why not? Aojun. I'm going to hide and cover here. Alright. Use my Transcendence to try to get in a little bit quicker. I think my legs are actually damaged, so I'm not moving very fast. Okay, guys, let's stop getting beacons, please. Well, then, if in that case, I'm going to change my robot. I'm going to drop in with the leech. Okay, so got to get off the beacon, guys. Oh, crap, I changed the beacon. I didn't want to change that beacon. So we have a Loki running around, so yeah, let's let him run around. Oh, 4 storms at him, and I still couldn't hit him point blank range. Oh, okay, we have a T-Falcon, it looks like here. Alright. And I thought I put phase shift on this. I must have screwed up and put healing on it instead. Now, why are you not just getting on the beacon? I'm trying to leave the beacon for you. So, you know what? These storms, yeah, maybe they're doing a little bit less damage, but they're not going to fix the Ravana problem. Let's just put it that way. Sure, I'll start healing now. Oh, crap. I thought my last in was over with. That was a waste of a heal. Kill. Nice. Alright, well, let's change my robot again. Okay, so let's get this Aujin in here because there's a Loki running around someplace. At least there was. There he is. Gonna go on in over here. Gonna hit him. No. Thought I could get maybe in range enough to actually shoot him. Now this is what I absolutely hate on the test server. People dropping in with Lokis and just essentially trolling the whole thing. Like, actually test your bots. This test server is supposed to be testing the storms, and people just running around with Lokis trying to ruin testing. There you go, bastard. That's one Loki down, and there's another one on the field someplace. Okay, looks like my teammates are doing okay over there. And we have, I think it's a behemoth over here. I gotta reload. Reload this other one for some reason. Why? My buttons, I'm hitting one target and it's just, it's actually taking off 2 of them. Okay, let's go up here. Let's try to take out this behemoth if we can. There we go, double kill. Alright, let's reload that other side. Okay, somebody hitting me? No, okay. Alright, so there's a Nightingale coming in there. I'm going to get ready to try to take him out here in a second. When he lands, lock on. Like, what is he, counter healing or something, or just not, or just missing? He's in fascia, so he can't capture the beacon. So I can get on here and stop him from actually capturing it. I'm going to be taken out here because this Falcon's going to take me out. Nice, nice. And I still have 2 Redeemers, somehow. Okay, let's get on up here. And he's phase shifting again. Okay, he's taken out. Empty my clip. And what do we have behind us here? We have, looks like a Nodens. My team should be able to handle that over there. I'm going to go on up here and try to hit the Nodens. That's it, boys. Let's light them up. Okay. And doing okay there. Oh, my teammate there just got taken down. We've got the Nodens out. My legs are pretty much busted up on this bot here. Looks like, is that another Nodens or is that an Arthur? I can't quite tell yet. What's a Nodens? He's going to try to take me out here in a second. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to help my teammate here. We can take him out. Oh, he's healing. Come on. Good job. Now let's see if I can maybe go around here and capture this beacon. Going with the Alming here. We only have one enemy left. Looks like we've got this game easily in hand. I don't think I'll get a shot off on him before. Nope. Okay, so that went relatively well. Look at the tail of the tapes, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So, 1.5 million damage. Nice. 4 kills, 9 beacons. Alright, so my final thoughts. The 15% nerf of the storms is not going to do it, not to fix the Ravana. The problem with the Ravana is not that storms is a popular weapon for it. The problem with the Ravana is the amount of time it spends in its invulnerability states, whether it's Transcendence or it's Phase Shift. And while it's a good step to make it that you cannot capture beacons in using Phase Shift or Transcendence, that only addresses the Ravana problem partially in 2 modes, Domination and Beacon Rush. It does absolutely nothing, really, to resolve the issue of Ravana's in Free-For-All, nor in Team Deathmatch. Now, Pixonic, I don't know what you're smoking over there, but you really have to do a much better job at not only balancing your stuff, but not releasing things that are OP right off the start. Adding in a legendary pilot that added a 3rd ability to an already insanely powerful robot is just ludicrous. So here's my suggestion to fixing it. There's 2 possible ways that I see of doing it. If Pixonic's goal is to try to get other weapons being used on the Ravana instead of just storms, well then, why don't you institute a means that the weapons that continuously reload no longer reload in Transcendence and Phase Shift? So what I mean by the ones that continuously reload, the ones that are, for instance, like the Storms, all the shotguns, the plasma weapons like Tarons, Redeemers, all those type of things that actually just reload on their own over time. Things also like the rockets, the glaciers, the cryos, the orkans. Things that just automatically reload over a period of time. Make it so that that reload doesn't happen during those modes. However, the other ones that you have to completely empty your clip can reload during that time frame. So it adds, in my opinion, a bit of more strategic element to the game. That if you want to use things like Tarons on it, then you'll have to make sure you try to empty your clip before you go into those modes. If you want to use the items like the shotguns, the rockets, you have to try and use your Transcendence more of the way to get in and get out and then back behind cover so that you have a chance for your robot, whether you're using Phase Shift or you're using Ravana and Transcendence, give it time to actually reload your clip before you go back in. Many times the way people are playing the Ravana right now is using all their Transcendence abilities and Phase Shift just to keep reloading the shotguns. And since the shotguns do a huge burst of damage right off the bat, they can usually take out of their enemies just by, quote, just brawling, straight up brawling with it. Doing something like this might reduce that brawling aspect by making the Ravana more of an assassin type bot instead of a brawler. And I don't think it was ever meant to be a brawler, but that's how people started to end up using it. That being said, the other way I would suggest possibly working out this problem with the Ravana, as well as with Phase Shift, is first and foremost, take Foolhardy Quartermaster completely out of the game. No robots can get Foolhardy Quartermaster. Once you hit 50% of your health, you get another ability right back. And if you remove that, at least you're getting rid of one of the elements of people using phase shift multiple times. The second thing I would say is remove Clever Survivor from the Ravana. You're already introduced the Legendary Pilot that give you 3 permanent active abilities. And then you added the Clever Survivor on, it just gives it an additional one. If you really want to have Clever Survivor on the Ravana, then my suggestion would be Clever Survivor is available on a regular pilot. Once you equip the Legendary Pilot that allows you to have the 3rd permanent ability, then the Clever Survivor is no longer being able to be selected. So the Legendary Pilot still gives you an advantage over the regular pilot. Because the regular pilot, if you put in Clever Survivor, you get an additional charge one time using that bot. Whereas you put the Legendary Pilot on, you have 3 permanent charges that can regenerate, but you don't get that 4th one at 50%. So the Legendary Pilot is still more beneficial to using than compared to the regular pilot, because you only get that 3rd ability that one single time using the regular pilot, whereas you get it all the time using the Legendary Pilot. So that would be my suggestion. Either completely remove Clever Survivor from the bot itself, or remove it from the Legendary Pilot, because it really isn't needed. It's already strong. But in combination with that, you have to get rid of Foolhardy Quartermaster. I mean, Foolhardy Quartermaster is pretty much OP and standard on many of the high-end championing plays on almost all their bots that make use of their active module. I really don't think it's honestly needed. So that is just my thoughts and opinions. As for the drones, they're a complete and utter mess. Like, they're not going to be affordable despite what Pixonic says. Not unless they significantly reduce the cost of gold to combine the microchips and grind them up. Because even on the test server, we were looking at 200 gold to upgrade and combine from tier 2 to tier 3. And it was 500 gold to combine from tier 3 to tier 4. So, and I don't know, I can't remember what the cost was from tier 1 to tier 2. So assuming you had a whole bunch of tier 1s that you, remember, you combine all the way up to tier 2. That's, well, let's go back into it here for a second here. All right, let's go into drones. Go into this drone. And we're going to combine here. Come on. Click on a combine. Okay. So let's just quickly do a little bit of the math here. And yes, I know these gold prices will probably not be the same as they are on the live server. We're just going to use this as an example. So, go from tier, assuming you have to grind everything right from tier 1. And there is a means to grind these microchips, and you don't have to necessarily go to the store and buy them all. So you need 15 tier 1s to get 1 tier 2 at a cost of combining 50. So to go from tier 1 to tier 2, it's a cost of 50 gold to combine. So you need 15 of those. At tier 2, you need 10. So that means if I have to do a straight conversion all the way from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3, you're looking at having to have 10 of these. So that means I need to combine and upgrade from tier 1 to tier 2 10 times. So at 50 gold a pop, that's 500 gold to get 1 tier 2 to tier 3 going. That's 1. So that's 500 gold. But in order to combine from tier 3 to tier 4, I need 5 tier 3s. So that means it's 500 gold to get 1 single tier 3. So that means times 5, it's 2,500 gold to get 5 tier 3s. Okay, are you following me? Am I doing this right? Sorry. So it's, right, so it's 500 gold to be able to combine for a tier 3. Okay, so we're at 500 gold for a tier 3, plus the 200 to actually combine, so that's 700 gold. So that's 700 gold to create one single tier 3. But you need 5 tier 3s to do a tier 4. So that's 700 gold times 5, because you need 5 tier 3s. So 700 times 5 is 3,500. So you need 3,500 gold to grind all the way from tier 1 to have enough for tier 3 to go to tier 4. Plus a 500 to do the actual tier 4 conversion. So that's a total of 4,000 gold, according to the numbers on the test server, to grind completely from tier 1 all the way up to get one single tier 4. And if you have something like the Wasp here, where you can have multiples, you can actually get, say, 3 on there. Just hold on a second. I just have to pause it. Okay, so anyways, sorry, my daughter was making a lot of noise upstairs. I had to actually call her to quiet down. Yeah, so you need 4,000 gold to combine all the way up for one single tier 4. And if you have a Wasp here, for instance, where you can actually put on a maximum of 3 tier 4s, that's now 12,000 gold to equip the maximum of 3 tier 4 microchips on one single drone. And assuming you actually spend the money or whatever and have a hangar completely full of things like the Wasp, which is the higher end drone, that's 7 drone slots times 12,000 gold. You're looking at 84,000 gold to come close to maxing out your drones. How the F is that affordable? It's, you know what, when I start looking at these numbers, and if these numbers are even close to what they are on the live server, why bother anymore? I'm sitting on pilots I can't even upgrade right now because of the insane costs. And they say this is going to be affordable. And not only that, it costs power cells every single time you want to drop one of these. We have no means to really farm power cells. Only way we get them is out of events, supply drops. No, not even supply drops. Events, the operations sometimes, black market, and our lead crates. Sorry, I don't know what to say anymore. This is getting a little too insane, if you ask my personal opinion. Anyway, so that's my thoughts of the test server for this weekend. If you happen to have any comments, please leave them below. Subscribe to the channel, and until next time, cause some mayhem on the field for me.